Welcome to the Nick and Rob Homer Hour. Rob's with me now. He was lost for a second, but we got him back up here. But
I am here.
hey, Rob, did you enjoy the UFL weekend? Or were
um, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I'll be honest, my focus was on one of my favorite events of the entire year. It was on the Masters. That being said, I've during commercials, I flipped over to the Renegades game. I caught highlights. I had to go back and read through and then watch the highlights of what happened in that ridiculous ending for Orlando and Louisville. Um, I didn't bother watching any of the Houston game or the highlights. The score told me everything I needed to know in that one.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it was an exciting week 3, but again, it's now competing against the Masters, and we had this problem with March Madness last week, and then it's going to be whatever's up next. I mean, I think we're about to get to the NFL, NHL, NBA playoffs. That's going to be an issue going into it. So the
starting next
UFL,
week.
yeah, where they're located right now is really tough because a lot of sports already found their spot this time of year, and UFL is trying to get in on it, and it does worry me a little bit about it because it's not just the Masters. There's a lot going on right around the UFL season that people are used to watching.
Yeah, more and more I think about it. At first, I was excited that they pushed it back a little bit. I thought it would help to kind of stand away from the NFL. But you know what? I would thinking about it, there's two options. One is it's no longer spring football, it's summer football. And then you get to think about locations and heat and all that because a lot of the does anyone want to watch people playing in 110 to 115 degrees in Dallas?
It's pretty
No,
rough.
pretty rough unless you get to, you start doing indoor tours. But those venues are a little bit more expensive, but a little bit more available except for concerts in the summer. Or,
Yeah.
or you move earlier, sort of like they were last year, but even a little earlier. Start your season. This would also be a part of starting to have a partnership with the NFL if they could, both leagues would grow up and figure that out. Really, the NFL. Come on. Um, Start week 1, Pro Bowl week.
Hey, I like it. I like that a
Start
lot.
week 1,
I think
Pro
that'd be
Bowl
really
week.
cool.
Week 2, for the Super Bowl, have those games on Friday and Saturday. Don't touch Super
I
Bowl
love
Sunday.
it.
Friday and Saturday. Think about this, like in pro wrestling, we both enjoy pro wrestling. WrestleMania, biggest event of the year. You want to know what goes around WrestleMania that whole week leading up to it, wherever this year it's in Vegas, wherever the location is. All the smaller promotions from all over the country and Japan, even some from Japan, Mexico, they all book a whole bunch of venues all around in and near that area to capitalize it and make it a whole festival. Do it that way. You get your 2 weeks
I
in,
love it.
and we'd be, honestly, if we started then, we would be wrapping up the regular season at this point. So at this point, you'd have fans invested. All right. Make sure around, you don't need to worry about the Final Four so much. You can schedule around that. That's 2 games and the other games on Monday. But those opening 2 weekends, like schedule around that. Do more heavy games like Wednesday games or something, Sunday games. And then you're dodging a lot of the other bullets. I think you got to move it earlier. You've been on this from the beginning. I'm arguing maybe a little earlier, and I think it'd be cool. But I don't know. What do you think about that?
I would love it. I think that'd be great for the league to do that and just try to coordinate with the NFL. I don't know if the NFL is going to be doing that. They're kind of the bullies on the block. So I don't know if they're going to feel a need to help a minor league team out. That's the way they view it. They would rather create their own, and
it benefits the
that's
NFL.
how they operate. It
Benefits
does.
the
It
NFL.
does. It helps groom talent, especially kickers. Especially kickers.
And maybe at least one quarterback this year, possibly 2 or 3 though. Nick, I will say this: through 3 weeks, the quality of play is, I think, ahead of where it was anywhere last season,
Oh yeah,
which is
yeah,
saying a
yeah. At
lot
least
considering the head coaches. I'm impressed.
didn't expect that, but it looks like the coordinators didn't change too much. And we can start getting down to the Renegades, at least starting off with the Renegades talk, and start breaking down some of these games and talk about that talent.
Sounds good to me.
Well, I know the segment's called the Renegade Rundown, but the opponent that they were playing with had huge news involving the Dallas area too, so that makes it home newsworthy. Ted Ginn Jr., the head coach of the Aviators, got pulled over and arrested for a DUI, giving Todd Haley the whistle right before the game. Rob, did you catch news of this story? And how ridiculous does this sound?
I mean, they're not making NFL money, and Ted Ginn was a pre-NIL college star, so it's not like I can say, why don't they have a driver? That's not a thing. Like, but also, you're the head coach of a football team. You are still molding young men. You are trying to get them ready to take that next step into the NFL. You got to set an example. And that example was not set there. You got to know better. Where's your pullback coach? Your pullback coach should be going with you to the bars, cut you off, pull you back from the bar. Let's go. And you're from up in that area. Dallas police do not joke around about DWIs, DUIs. They will, if they even suspect it, even in the Austin area, you won't see any cops anywhere all week. But if you leave a bar or a known place where alcohol is being consumed around the closing time, the cops are everywhere, which is it's good.
Okay. Oh, yeah, no, I was just agreeing. It's really bad. It's really bad in Dallas area, too. The cops are tough out there. Sorry, Rob.
So, no, you're good. So it's just one of those things. It's like, you got to know better. He posted bond. He is back with the team. At this point, he is expected to coach this week because, as we know, these things this is a low priority in the court system. It probably won't get resolved until after the season. But arguably, did they look better than they have all season with Todd Haley running the show?
They look good. Now, I don't know if we can give too much credit for Todd Haley just because, again, remember the Jeff Saturday analogy. He only had one day to prepare this team. So I'm thinking, he just, whatever they were doing in practice, they just executed out onto the field and they just needed a guy to be in charge. But I'm right there with you. One thing's for sure, Ted Ginn Jr. did not take this job that seriously by doing something like that. I just don't think he did. And I think the response for the UFL should be, let's not take Ted Ginn Jr. seriously. Let's just go ahead and move on and make Todd Haley the permanent head coach right now for the Aviators. And I think the Aviators are going to be better off because he does have head coaching experience. Not the best guy, by the way. Todd Haley's not a, perfect human being neither, but
he's got, just Google him. If you're watching, you're like, what? Google him.
Yeah, take a look into his history. It's not a great history, but hopefully he's learned from it. And on top of it, he is a former head coach, smart offensive mind, and I think it's going to be a good fit for the Aviators to just keep Todd Haley in it, move on from Ted Ginn Jr., and say, go on forward because this team does have a lot of talent. They played really well against the Renegades. I know the Renegades were on a little bit of a short rest, but I'll tell you one thing. I love McClendon. I said it from the beginning of the year. I know they're 0-3. He had another great game, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. We'll talk about that. And offensively, they look pretty good. Now, the Renegades did a good job stopping the run, so they weren't able to do anything on that end. But on the offensive side, they have been looking good, and they have looked good for the last 2 weeks. Defensively, I mean, you held Austin Reed to 147 yards. Tyler Vaughn, he only got 41. And then the only big thing that ended up happening for the Renegades was Day Hunter had 11 attempts for 62 yards for once. We're running the football, going well. But Rob, what's making the Renegades, everyone's talking about Austin Reed. Tyler Vaughn, the wide receivers, Greg Ward, Day Hunter's starting to make the scene. Everyone's always offense, offense, offense. This is what the Renegades are doing. And
this
what a
offense
lot of
looks
people
better than it's looked in a long time.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, they were number 2 in scoring last year. It wasn't like but it looks a little bit more improved.
Yeah, but that was number 2 in scoring. But look at what the UFL's doing points wise across the board. This year, you're seeing, and maybe it's a little bit of rules. I think part of the thing, the punting, I think, is coming into play. But DC Defenders, Dallas Renegades, and I'll keep it there. Both look Columbus Aviators. Both look like they have NFL style offenses capable of putting up points.
Yeah, I'll make the argument for Orlando Storm too. Yeah.
Look at the Storm schedule. Look at the Storm schedule. They've played 2 teams. One of them is the Kings twice.
I just trust Anthony Beck, whatever he does out there too. And we'll talk about the Orlando Storm, but the big thing that I caught for the Renegades right now is the fact that they're actually leading the entire UFL in interceptions. They got 6 interceptions for the entire year. Shaun Wade is responsible for half of them, and I want to show you, Rob, how he's pulling it off. Do you mind if I do a little breakdown with them?
Please do. We need a beanie breakdown.
Beanie breakdown.
Wrong button.
Did I lose it? I think. Oh, no. I got it. It's right here. It's a common football trope to say that it's not about the X's and the O's, it's about the Jimmy and the Joes. And Renegade cornerback Shaun Wade proved that in this pick 6 against the Aviators. The Columbus Aviators decided to play a 5 wideout set, and the Renegades were countering with a soft coverage. Usually this screams of a comeback route, and it looks like that's what Keke Chisholm was trying to do on this play. So in order for Keke Chisholm to execute the comeback route, he's going to have to convince his counterpart, Shaun Wade, that he is going to do a go route. Shaun Wade is also going to try to bait him on this play, convincing him that it's actually working. So as the play continues, Keke Chisholm starts running, and you can tell he's trying to bust the go route. And this is the part that I really love, the cat and mouse game between wide receiver and quarterback. Shaun Wade turns his shoulders, convincing Keke Chisholm that it's actually working. And you can even see McGlendon over here was buying it too, because he's already setting up for the throw on the comeback route. But as the play continues, right when Shaun Wade plants his foot, the ball is already out of McGlendon's hands and the trap was already set. Shaun Wade's then going to step up right in front of the route, and bam, you got an interception. Also on top of this play that just makes it really fun and UFL top 10 worthy for the year is the fact that Gene Harris happens to be in the right spot for a fun little lateral that was risky for Shaun Wade to go ahead and throw, but he does it anyway, gives it to Gene Harris, and bam, you got yourself a pick 6. And in case you guys have not seen the full play, here it is with audio, the excitement that eluded the Renegade pick 6.
Excellent timing. Empty backfield. McClendon intercepted. Oh, the Renegades, and there's the lateral. Give them a touchdown. The pick.
If you take a look at Shaun Wade's career, it's not too surprising that he was able to bait Keke Chisholm and McClendon on that play. He did spend some time in the NFL. He was a 5th-round draft pick by the Baltimore Ravens in 2021 and spent 4 years in the NFL since then. It wasn't until the Chicago Bears decided to end his 1-year contract after he had a huge injury that put him on injury reserve. The Dallas Renegades took advantage of that opportunity and got him drafted over to this 2026 roster, and hopefully he makes it back to the NFL one day. But in the meantime, he made it on the Beanie Breakdown.
Beanie Breakdown Award winner.
Yeah. We can actually keep a tally on it. Right now it's Shaun Wade. It's probably going to be Austin Reed. But like I said, a lot has been talked about this Renegade offense. And I'm telling you, this secondary is lights out, real good. I love everyone on it. You got Stephen Jones. You got Shaun Wade just doing what he's doing out there too and leading the league in interceptions. It's well earned, and skills like that. Usually I'm trying to break down a play. Rarely do I just look at a player. I like scheme usually over just individual play like that, but I couldn't resist. Shaun Wade looks that was a phenomenal move to turn his shoulders, fool Kiki Chisholm into that, and ended up McGlennon thought it was all right, and he had him from the very beginning. It was a really cool play to break down. Renegades looking good. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was well done, and I liked the added like that. You wouldn't see that happen in the NFL. The added pitch there, not unless they were down and it was late in the game. So that was a nice little touch.
Yeah, that's what makes it a UFL top 10 play. Probably going to make it for the end of the year too. I think that's going to be talked about for quite some time. Real quick, like just to finish on the Renegades, they're looking really good. They ended up winning. They almost came back to the two score turnaround. The Aviators were close to doing it with that 4th and 12 scoring, getting within 5, and then almost trying to convert on that 4th and 12. Last year, the Renegades would have let that happen. This year, they stopped them, and they were able to knee down the ball. So as close of a game it was, I think the Renegades are looking really good because, especially on short day rest, I think they're going to approach it a lot better this next round. And don't be surprised if they win again.
They're far and away the best team in the UFL. Yeah, it's hard to play the same team twice and beat them twice. The Storm needed a ticky-tack rule to make sure they could get their second win over a team that really, up until this week, didn't have offense. So I expect a close game, but I don't expect the Columbus crowd to make a difference here. It's gonna be a Renegades win.
Probably, and we'll definitely talk about that in our pick segment. But in the meantime, more happened around the UFL, and we should start talking about it, Rob.
Let's do it. All right, so we got 3 different games. Which one do you want to dive into first? Do we just jump right into the controversy?
Yeah. I've got a little going on that game, Storms versus Kings. Let's start talking about that game. I think that's going to be an exciting one.
Let's do it.
Before the controversy, I just want to shout out to Beam because I kind of gave him a hard time. He only converted 25% of his passes the previous game. And I was like, if you're going to win, you're going to have to go with Rodgers. But Beam,
he's getting there.
You can't let that talent sit on the bench. And I think with the Louisville Kings being 0-3, they've got to just go ahead and start Beam and try to work with him. I know he's a wild card. I know he's not the best at throwing mid passes, but man, when you go 23 for 42
yards, 3 touchdowns.
No picks this time, by the way. No picks. That's right. Exciting.
He's getting into form. This Kings team, like when we briefly mentioned power rankings later, I've dropped them in my power rankings. I'm off the bandwagon for a bit, but I still think, especially with the UFL being what it is, they can go on a run and they can be the 4 seed.
Right there with you. If Beam can turn this offense around, this team's going to be one to be reckoned with for a little bit. They definitely can make it the playoffs. All you have to do is finish above 500 in the UFL, and you should be able to make it over there.
Oh, for sure. One thing, I don't know, and you're going to get more into the breakdown, talk more about the game in a second, I think, but one thing that caught my eye when I was getting the highlights and looking at it, and there's no way for us to really go back because record keeping and stat keeping is so bad. But can you recall the last time 2 quarterbacks in a game didn't have a single turnover in the UFL?
I cannot, and I'll tell you one thing. There's a couple games later that we're going to talk about where that was not the case. That was fun, very exciting game. But St. Louis and Defenders, man, that was an entertaining game. But Yeah, it's amazing that these guys are playing at the level that they are. And I think this is a good sign for the league when you have Beam step up and then you have not Jake Plummer. That's what I'm going to call him now. Not Jake Plummer playing as well as he did too, going 21 for 34, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns too. He's looking really good out there. And the UFL's got plenty of talent in the quarterback position. Looks like the Houston Gamblers could use some of that, but outside of them and a couple, I can't even think of another one. There's a lot of talent going on right now, and the UFL's looking quarterback friendly right now. They're playing really well all across the board.
Yeah, it's the product is a lot better. It's a lot better. So if somehow you're watching us after hating on the UFL's product last year, give them a chance this weekend. You're going to be pleasantly surprised.
And they picked it up much faster than they did last year too, and that's another good thing.
It really is. It really is. Is there anything else you want to talk about this game before I go into a rage?
Yeah, I'll finish up my last talking point. So I got Roland. Love him. I know KJ Hamler got all the heat, but Roland ended up going 9 receptions for 113 yards. I said it last week. I think I like Roland over KJ Hamler. They're both really good, and they might have the best wide receiver duo in the UFL. Those two are phenomenal.
Yeah, I wouldn't say either one of them is competing for the best wide receiver in the UFL. We got one person that really has that on lock, but they're two of probably the top 5 or 6, and when you put them together, that's a really good duo.
Yeah, and it is, and they played phenomenal out there. And then you got Corbin over there. He was he only got 8 attempts for 25 yards. I think the Louisville Kings did not do a really good job working with him there, and the
Storm?
Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't rush well at all.
No, they never do against Louisville Kings. They actually have a really good front seven. We've been talking about that for quite some time.
Yeah.
And the attack had to be on the pass. But it did go into overtime. Both teams played really well. And that is where the controversy happened. Rob, do you want to break down what happened?
Yeah, so I didn't know this. This has been a rule that's been in place for a while, apparently. I didn't know because I think this is the first time the rules ever actually had an effect on a game. But the reason why they have this rule, from everything I've read, they really are trying to keep games into a neat 3-hour window. And they have the smaller roster. So it's only, a 50-person roster. And that makes, I think it's 43, I believe, that are active on game day. So you're really looking at about 2 deep on each side of the ball. It's not very deep at all. And UFL, what are y'all doing? If you only have 50, make all 50 active. Come on. You don't need to save money there. The players are making next to nothing. Then you fix your player safety issue. But the rule is, in overtime, if there are essentially, let me get this right. So
I actually have it right here, Rob.
You have it? Okay, you want to read it? Because I mostly still see red. But yeah, you want to explain the rule, and then I can go from there if you've got it written down.
So this is straight from the UFL rulebook. I actually went straight to their rulebook just to see what happened there. So, it's article blah, section blah. But anyway, so the rule is fouls committed by the defensive team during an unsuccessful try will result in a second try from the 1-yard line. If the defense fouls during any subsequent try, a score will be awarded. And
unbelievably stupid.
Yeah, now it's only a try will be awarded. It's not like you get the guaranteed win. It was just they needed that try to succeed.
They got the guaranteed. They got awarded 2 points on the foul. On the second foul, they got awarded 2 points by the refs.
Correct, because it was considered a conversion, and that's how they won the game. But if they would have done it on the, well, it's not sudden death. You get 3 tries.
No, it is. It's
3 tries.
No, But when it happened, that decided the game. That ended the game.
Yes, correct. I'm just saying each team gets 3 tries. Like if
And that was
you
at the
get
end
one,
of those tries.
Yeah, and that was at the end of the tries, and that's the rule was, of course, what ended the game, and that's how it ended over there. Rob, I just want to get your take real quick on the rules, and then I actually have a controversial opinion on this.
You're wrong. I already can tell what your opinion is, and you're wrong.
Let me try to convince you.
Okay. You won't. So here's the thing. If you're already watching the game, you're going to keep watching how it ends, even if it keeps going. If they're worried about having to pay overages for TV rights, Repoli get in there and renegotiate things after this year because, oh my goodness, this is stupid. But here's the thing. If there's a penalty happen, you get a second, they'll automatically award it the second chance. And then if the penalty happens again, you get awarded the points for the penalty, which is what happened.
Right.
So here's the thing. This is football. If a referee wants, there is a hold somewhere on every single play. There is. So now you've got the defense doing their best to not commit a penalty. So they're back on their heels, which means the try is going to go through. Odds are at that point, 75% chance. If I make a penalty, I give up the points. So clearly the coach told him to still play hard. Don't worry about that stupid rule, but it didn't matter. And then you cannot end a game this way. Not at all. That is so ticky-tack. That is so bullshit. No, that's not, it can't end that way. Now, even in the NFL, it's hit a point where this was back in the Belichick days when they were I think it was one of the ones with maybe the Jets, or maybe it was when they were battling Vrabel and the Titans, and they were both manipulating the rules a bunch. And it hit a point where I think the refs were like, hey, if you keep going, we have the right to reward a turnover or a point or something to the other team. And so they played on. So there needs to be, unless a team is purposefully tanking it and blatantly, flagrantly causing a penalty, because there was nothing wrong with the penalties that were called. They were penalties. Mm-hmm. But they were normal penalties that occur over the course of the game. So unless someone's ripping a player down just to try to delay things, the referees cannot be awarding points. And based on Repoli's commenting on it, I don't think he may have known this was a rule until it happened.
Correct. Yeah, he didn't like it. He didn't like it at all.
And honestly, I wouldn't even wait to the end of the season. I would change it before this week's games. Get rid of that rule.
Well, I never liked that. I never liked changing rules in the middle of the play. Now we really know the rules, and all teams should be notified after that game that
the Kings got robbed.
The rules.
The Kings got absolutely robbed.
Here's my counter to it, though, is if you're a smart defensive coordinator, because remember, after the foul, they end up going to the 1 yard line. If you're a smart defensive coordinator, I would tell them if that rule was not in the rule book, I would say hold every freaking play. I would just tell them to hold.
Well, it shouldn't even, I mean, well, I guess because of the yardage, it moves up to the 1. But yeah, no, of course, yes, you do that. That's fine. But then it hits a point where if the flags keep coming and pushes too long, then the refs have the discretion. It shouldn't be automatic.
Well, yeah, and then And I don't like discretion for the refs, but if you can get away with the holding call, you can get away with the holding calls. The refs aren't going to catch them all. So if you continue to play a holding style defense over and over and over from that 1 yard line, you're going to be able to get away with it and take away the pass out there. The way the overtime's set up, in my mind, it actually kind of needs something like this because it's just the way the overtime set up. If it was from the 25, like in college football, that's a whole different story. They don't want it to go on longer, and I know that's why they do attempts like that. But the way it's set up, I'm kind of getting it because if I was a defensive coordinator, I would tell them every single play, what are they going to do? Move up a half a yard? I don't care. Yeah, hold every play out there. And I get what they were trying to stop.
Problem. Yeah, but they tried to solve a problem that didn't exist because they're trying to be cheap. Because they're trying to be cheap.
I don't think they're trying to be cheap. I think they genuinely are trying to stop advantages that are going to go to the coaches. So if you have like a Belichickian coach out there that understands the rules real well, he'll take advantage of that. And
so here's what should happen every single time. Not that overtimes happen often, but if I'm a coach and it's overtime and the other team just committed a penalty, can they use their super challenge? On the next play?
Stop it?
On the next play, can they use a super challenge?
Of course, if they have one.
So they can now use their super challenge, throw the flag, tell their coaches to find a penalty somewhere. There's the point.
Get a score.
Bullshit. Yeah. At that point, ESPN would have a field day, even more than they probably already did over this ending, if that's the way it ended. And if I'm a smart coach, you'd do the same thing, wouldn't you? You'd be like, I haven't used my super challenge yet.
Most of the time they do.
Find me something. Assistants find me something.
But before regulation, most of the time they're going to burn that super challenge just because you could do that for any play.
We saw it. It didn't happen last week in our game of the week. And it should have on a few occasions.
Yeah, I think the Renegades were just stomping them, and that was just the case over there. It's really interesting. I don't want to get too hung up on it because there's other games going on. But
when you're trying to bring in fans, rules like that turn off casual fans. They don't bring them in. 4-point play, 3-point play, that'll bring in the casual fan because they're curious, especially if they see it on a highlight.
Where we agree
will turn off the casual fan.
Where we agree is that something should change. Something. I don't know what. Something should change. I'm not denying that, but I understand what the rule was trying to prevent. Because if I was a smart defensive coordinator, I would do it every single play. Every single play. I would say hold.
But where is that actually a problem in the NFL or in college football when we get to overtime? It's not.
They don't deal with that, but they don't deal with the same rules that the UFL does with where you're just doing
the UFL needs to fix their overtime rules. The UFL overtime's broken.
We found a kink in the chain. I think. I agree with that.
So we found fix it or go to ties.
But at the same time, you don't want the players out there too long. I have nothing wrong with the attempts thing. I mean, I get it once it goes into overtime and it's just, you're trying to end a game at some point.
So counterpoint.
I wouldn't want it for the NFL. I wouldn't want it for college football, but I get it in the UFL just because, it generates excitement and it ends the game a little quicker. It just happened to end on a penalty. And that was the issue that happened there on that game.
Counterpoint. What is the UFL's best export to the NFL?
Best export. What do you think? Reffing? Rules?
What's the best thing that goes from the UFL to the NFL?
Kickers.
What's a really fun new rule that got implemented this year?
The 4-point rule.
Goes to overtime. Start at the 60. You move 5 yards closer each time. They each get a chance. Done. That's fun.
I like
you start at the 60. You can end it with a 60-yarder because probably only one of the two of them is going to make it. They both miss. They go to 55. They both miss. They go to 50.
And because of the current UFL setup, it's not like they're playing football in overtime anyway. They're playing this weird,
right.
Free throw playing almost from
highlight the best part of your league as far as exporting the NFL goes.
And I think it'd be fun for the fans. I think it would be fun for the fans. We agree on that. Let's do that one, Rob.
You could, and if you're so worried about that, literally set them up as free kicks. So it's not 11 guys out there. It's not 11 on 11. It's just the kickers, someone holding the ball.
I like it. We're workshopping it. I like that one. Let's do that.
Reply, call us.
I think it'd be fun. All right.
All right.
Yeah,
I do agree with you. I understand what they were trying to solve, but I think they overthought it.
Yeah, sometimes rules you can overthink, and that might have been the case over there, but it happens. But we got to move on, Rob. We got to move on. It was fun debate, but
we got
the good
our
news
highlights.
Yeah, we got our clips in. We did have this one. Will be quick though, because not much happened over here. We got the Houston Gamblers going against the DC Defenders. A whip fest ended up happening on this game. The DC Defenders were looking really good, and the Houston Gamblers, right after I just said all those good things about Henderson has a dislocated finger, and they have to put in, I'm saying Toli Tagovailoa. he's kind of another hard name to say.
But he wasn't. He probably got like no snaps. He was probably in cold.
He did not look good at
all.
The Gamblers. Practice. Oh, even in practice? Oh, you're saying yeah, because I guess they just figured out the dislocated finger.
Yeah, granted, we say he looked bad. He completed over 50% of his passes, and by general UFL standards, that's a win. I don't think Tiamu has sniffed 60% pass completion all season.
Tiamu, one TD too.
Yeah, Tiamu, by the way, as his team overall doing well, I wouldn't touch it. And I'm president of the Tiamu bandwagon at this point, as far as anyone can be that doesn't rock a beer snake on the weekends. I wouldn't touch him if I'm an NFL team with the way he's been playing this year.
Not an NFL team, just because he hasn't been playing too well. And what I'm hearing a lot of people say that I heard someone post a video. They were doing their own breakdown saying Teamu deserves the MVP of the UFL. Like, not even close, dude.
Last year,
give it to Jake. Last year maybe, but not with Austin Reed and what Jake Plummer is doing out there right now. You can't give it to Teamu. He's not having that great.
That's either someone that's drinking too many beers in the beer snake, or I know the UFL can be confusing to find sometimes. They're probably accidentally watching last year's games, because based on last year's games, he should have been the MVP, not Bryce Perkins.
Over Bryce Perkins, yeah. And I'll tell you what, he doesn't have to do much. That's another thing right now with the DC Defenders.
True.
One, Fred Keiss just runs a great offense. He just knows how to run a really good offense.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, he wants the running game to work, and that's exactly what happened with Deion Jackson, who got 70 yards, 1 touchdown on 5 attempts. Pretty amazing stuff out there for Deion Jackson. Then let's just pair it up with Abram Smith, who also got another touchdown. If you got a running game, they're just not going to use him. And 27 attempts is a lot, actually. That's not good. But, 15 completions on that for Teamu.
Yeah.
Their offense just didn't need it, especially with the Gamblers playing like they did. It was just so bad. And the Gamblers, I felt like they were finally getting traction. Their defense was doing good, but the one thing I said is they stopped the run. They didn't stop the run, Rob. And two,
the Gamblers, they have the weakest roster, right, in the UFL?
Well, I would just put it on quarterback. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Henderson's
they have the worst quarterback play.
I just like Henderson's fine as a backup in the UFL, but he's not a super great quarterback. And then when you put in Toli, I'm going to say Toli, and
sure,
it's just not really working out for them. So their offense looks terrible. And I'm wondering, does someone used to run an offense? It's called, how about a no huddle? Let's go back to your old bag of tricks and run a no huddle offense. Very simple offense. And he won't even do that. I don't know what Kevin Sumlin's doing out there offensively.
And the UFL,
I think he'd be a little bit more wise on it.
The UFL is set up for teams just to be able to run no huddles because of how many people they're allowed to talk to.
Yeah. You can radio in 16 people. Yeah. I think it would be genius to do something like that, but I just don't know.
Yeah, if I'm Kevin Sumlin, screw it. All 11 of my offense, they're getting radioed in. I don't care about defense next week. My defense sucks, whatever. We're running no huddle and treat it like a live action Madden game and just go.
I love it. I mean, I think that's what someone's going to have to do out there.
Yeah.
Bad game, 45-7.
He's not the worst coach in the league. He's not.
No. He's got head coaching experience. I just don't know if his heart's into it. That's what I'm starting to question.
He's got a lot
45 to 7. Yeah, and he's doing fine on money. 45 to 7, not much of a game. There isn't much of that excitement. The only thing that was fun that happened is we got to see Repoli add to the beer snack.
So, Louisville, Columbus, Orlando, Oklahoma City, and then these guys right here.
Got to keep it in DC. Got to keep the beer stick alive.
They gave
That
him
was
a
cool.
touchdown. He didn't even finish it, but not bad.
It was very McDonald's CEO cringy almost. It was close. But at least he raised his fist up and looks like a fan. He is a fan, so
Yeah,
it was close. It was pretty bad.
The UFL needs him. The UFL has needed him. My goodness.
Yeah.
If the UFL succeeds, it's because of what he's bringing to the league.
Fun stuff like
But
that.
yeah, that was probably the highlight of that whole game.
Yeah, that was about the only thing that ended up happening. But hey, shout out to you, Repoli. You did add to that beer snake with your sip of beer, barely even a sip. I don't even think he drank any. I'll be honest. I don't think he drank any.
I mean, maybe he doesn't drink. I don't know. And he might not. But
well, and he is a billionaire, so maybe he had some important meeting to go to that he just could not be inebriated, and he decided that it would best not be a good time to be chugging beer. Or maybe he has a drinking problem. I could relate.
We don't know. In which case, he did his best with the optics. So there was one more game.
Good one,
This
too.
was a good one. This was a good one. The right team, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, the right team did win.
No.
The right team did
You
not
picked
win.
Stallions at the last second. I had to go back to the tape to see who you picked, and you ended up going Stallions, which shocked me because you're not the biggest.
That's right.
fan
I
of
was
the
mad
Stallions.
about it. So the right team won. I just didn't pick the right team.
Yeah, right.
I don't like the Stallions. Their fans piss me off.
Without a doubt. Yeah. So exciting game to go out there. And Rob was just talking about how the, with Jake Plummer and Beam out there, they did not throw one interception. Exact opposite. Interceptions aplenty, 6 amongst 3 different quarterbacks. You got everything that you would ever want. If you're a big interception fan, watch the Renegades #1 and watch this game #2 because that was exciting. The amount of interceptions that happened and allowing teams to get back in it too.
If I'm St. Louis, I am doing everything I can to pry Luis Perez away from Dallas. Because they've said Silvers is done. They're done with him. They moved on to Frost.
That would be. Yeah.
But Frost ain't much better. He did complete 60% of his passes. He completed 60%.
It was gutsy. He was down 10 points twice in the fourth quarter, and he ended up coming back to win it. And he understood the memo pretty quickly in the position. He's like, I am a battle hawk quarterback. What do? You throw it to Hakeem Butler. Just throw it to him. And magic will happen. That is the best
receiver. 4 for 146, man. 4 for 146.
When he catches it, it's crazy.
If he is not in a training camp, I'm already mad at Mike Vrabel. But if Vrabel doesn't find a better way, if no one else takes him, if Vrabel doesn't get this man into training camp, what are they doing?
He's got an NFL body. Like he's huge.
He looks like DK Metcalf. I mean, DK Metcalf is probably bigger. But like compared to everyone else he's playing against, he looks like he is like twice the size of DK Metcalf playing against little kids.
I don't know how. Yeah, why won't the NFL go get this guy? I've been saying it for years now, though, so I'm starting to wonder. There must be something about him where the NFL knows something, or the UFL's underhandedly paying him a little bit more. I don't know their contracts. I know the minimum payment.
Oh, there's no player in the UFL would stay with the UFL or over a tryout in the NFL. But granted, they don't usually have to make that decision. The seasons are separate. So
and he does look like he's having fun out there, though. He does look like he just plain out enjoys. Maybe he's like me and you in Pee Wee football, where it's just a blast. I'm the big guy on the block.
Enjoying it if you were doing what you're doing? Matt Corral did not look good.
No, Matt Corral did not look good, but I'll tell you one thing. Brandon Silvers said, hold my beer, I'll show you something too. And that's the thing. They were competing.
The Battlehawks would be probably the best team in the league with functional, competent quarterback play. Their quarterback play is so bad that it might force them to miss the playoffs.
I saw a lot of things that I actually liked about Harrison Frost. I like to think Scott Frost's cousin. I didn't get a chance to check if they're related, but I just like to think that as a Nebraska fan. But yeah, Harrison Frost, I mean, yeah, he started it off bad. He threw 2 interceptions really early on, but I love the guts. He settled in. He ended up, I mean, he threw 3 touchdowns within a quarter pretty much. And 148 yards. If you rack that up for a full game, you're talking about 300 yards, 6 touchdowns. He balled out, man, in my opinion. And I think you found your guy. Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know if we found the guy, but
he's got a strong arm, and he's much more accurate than Brandon Silvers. And that's the part that I'm like, yeah, I think he's got it. He's got something.
Well, they got the Defenders next, so it's not easy sledding there.
It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be actually, I think it should be a really good game, especially with that rivalry. This is when I think the first time they should have played off, because it's such a big rivalry out there that this would be the opportunity for the UFL fans, especially after Masters Week, to just participate in, if you're a casual fan, to jump in on something that's really cool, and that is the rivalry between the Battlehawks and the Defenders too. So I'm excited for that game. The Defenders are not happy about it, so they're going to try to go back and go get themselves a win after a much defeating loss in week 1.
They want the split.
They want that split. Speaking of picks, Rob, should we start getting into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Making picks with Nick and Rob. Nick and Rob. The picks might be a hatchet job. Less reliable than a cone on the cob, but I love hearing picks from Nick and Rob.
Rob, I had a pretty good week. I went 4-0.
Yeah, I did not.
4-0 on my end. Yeah. Now you admitted the Louisville Kings one was weird, but I guarantee you, I'm going to make a prediction. That's the last time Rob's going to pick the Stallions, because Stallion fans, he already has a problem with you. But after that game, will you come back to the Stallions ever throughout this year?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But, 2-2 is still just fine, especially considering how my season's gone so far. I'm not hitting the panic button yet, but I did seed the season-long lead to you by, a game?
2 games. 2 games. We were tied last week, and now I got a 2-game lead. We're running out of time. Only 7 weeks to go, Rob. I'm putting that pressure on you,
So we have 70% we have 70% of the season still to go?
Yes, 70% of the season, but I'm nervous about Scotty Scheffler storming back. I am nervous about that. So, I got to keep my head cool and just try to get through it week by week.
All right, yeah. Well, you got to keep your head cool. Just make those set picks. So this week, we do not have a Sunday game. We go Thursday through Saturday. And we kick it off with a pillow fight, Nick. We kick it off with a pillow fight. Louisville Kings at Houston Gamblers.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up. There you go. And we've got the spread right here. Louisville Kings being favored just by 2.5. How you leaning on this one, Rob?
So I'm checking one thing real quick. So when you look at the points for, points against, the Louisville Kings have only scored 49 all season. The Gamblers have scored 46 all season. However, the Gamblers have given up 101 points this season, nearly half of those this last week, versus only 63 for the Kings. And I've been saying the Kings have a decent defense. The Gamblers don't have a quarterback. The final score might be 3-0. I don't know. But where am I? Where'd I go?
Are you? Oh, sorry, Rob. Producing on the fly. Sorry, Rob. I'm doing things. Your audio is there, by the way.
I know. I know. I'm going with the Kings here.
Going with the Kings against Gamblers. Yeah, it's going to be at Houston.
Playoff eliminator here. Whoever loses, I can say confidently will not make the playoffs.
I see things that I like about the Louisville Kings. I don't see much that I like about the Gamblers. I'm right there with you. I'm going to go with the Kings on this one. I'm just, speaking of which, Rob, I know you had your power rankings out there. Here's the current ones right now, according to the league. They're putting the Houston Gamblers still at 1 and 2 in the third spot. I would put them in dead last. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah,
I know they got to win, but
yeah. So where I disagree with this, I know the Storm are 3-0, but if you look at these power rankings, they just put the standings up. That's not a power rankings. A power rankings, you got to take more things into account. You got to extrapolate there. And I'm sorry, but the Orlando Storm have played the Kings twice and needed the refs to beat them the second time. I have the Orlando Storm 4th in my power rankings. Renegades very clearly won. Battlehawks and Defenders are more complete teams. The Storm can vault right into number 2 this week. They can. But right now, to me, they're number 4. They got to prove it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I've got the Aviators I do not have in last because they have a competent and functional offense that is produced every week. They just got to figure it out a little bit on defense. But lucky for them, there's not a lot like if you want to struggle at one over the other in the UFL, you want to struggle on defense, not offense. So they could right the ship starting this week. But yeah, I think right now I've got the Kings at 8, the Gamblers at 7. I do have the Stallions ahead of the Aviators, begrudgingly.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'd put the Gamblers in dead last over there, and then I would they're both so similar. I see potential. These are not bad 0-3 teams. I actually think both of them have a lot of potential. I just like the Louisville Kings a little bit more than the Columbus Aviators, just because there's less turmoil, and if they get their quarterback position set up, I think they'll be in good shape.
You put the Kings defense with the Aviators offense, and you've got the best team in the league.
No joke. Yeah, that is a good observation. I am right there with you.
And then far and away the worst team in the league if you combine the opposites of those.
Yeah. Yeah. If you do the opposite, I don't know. The Gamblers might have a run for the money. I'm not high on them, but
with where their quarterbacks are set up, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't. I think they got a bad quarterback situation. I'm trying to pull up the spread for the next game. Which one? Which one's the next one, Rob?
Renegades go to Columbus.
Cool.
That's our Friday night game.
And the Renegades are favored by 5.5. Rob, I mean, I'm already picking the Renegades. You already know that.
Me too.
I'd take the 5.5. I would go all in on this. Prove me wrong, rest of the UFL.
Yeah, and it's tough for the Aviators because they go 0-4. They're gonna have to go on a hell of a run to. They arguably can't lose again. They can maybe lose one more game. They're just. I think they already gave the Renegades their best shot. I mean, did you see that hat Neuheisel was rocking in post game in the locker room?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it as a Texas guy. You know I love that.
Honestly, if he were to walk out on the sidelines for the game in that thing, if I'm the other team, I go home. It's over. But yeah, no, Renegades. It's probably gonna 5.5. I think they probably would cover that. It won't be a blowout by any means, but it'll be competitive, but it'll be one-sided.
It should be pretty one-sided, and I love your idea because if he wore that hat, walked into the stadium, and played Stone Cold Steve Austin's music as he's walking in, no one will beat the Renegades, guaranteed. I'm calling it.
Yep. So that's our game 2, and then we have 2 Saturday games this week. Leading off with at 12:30. Interesting, they made it. The league really loves to put the Storm in the best windows. They've got their best matchup of the whole week at the 12:30 slot. Battlehawks go to DC at 12:30 on ABC. What are we doing?
I don't like it. Wrong one. Sorry, producing on the fly there. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it because it's the second time that you're kind of. I get one time because of scheduling conflicts, but you got to put this rivalry at the top. And St. Louis fan base show up on both ratings and in attendance. Why would you just cut them off like that? I don't understand.
Although their attendance is down this year, they're still getting 20K at their games, but they've lost about 10K fan-wise. Also, that real quick, that Thursday night game, the pillow fight is on NFL Network. If they claim more than 100,000 people watch that game, I'm pretty sure they're lying.
Sadly, I'll tell you what the NFL did and succeeded on. I always have that subscription, and I end it by the end of the year because I like to watch Red Zone, and I re-upped my subscription. I will be watching this game on Thursday night.
I will not be.
Hey, it's not that bad though. It's not like ESPN and Fox where they're charging $30. It's like $15 a month. I can deal with that. Just $15 a month, and I'll watch me some UFL.
There's because like I can't watch all 4 games. I can't. I'm not prioritizing that game. There's just other things I want to do with my life. I'll watch the highlights. I'll have thoughts on it afterwards. But
yeah, I'm gonna try to just watch it and enjoy the product. I kind of like I like the weekday night games. I love it. And you were talking about it earlier.
Sadly, the Tuesday night ratings for last week were not good, but they put it on the equivalent of NFL Network. It was on FS1. Nobody ever knows how to find FS1. No one does. If that was on Fox or ESPN or ABC, it would have pulled. And I know it's not going to be on Fox or ABC midweek. They've got their TV shows, but why throw that on ESPN too? What else are you doing on ESPN too?
And we did get some advice. Chucky Valentine joined in on the show on the chat, and he's saying go on YouTube TV, and all of the channels are going to be on that one. I don't have it. Chucky.
My brother's got it. People I know that have YouTube TV, they love it. YouTube TV it's pretty good. I don't have it either. We don't watch enough TV to justify that. So we just have a couple streamers that we pull up here and there, but YouTube TV is good. Then Chucky, thanks for joining. Please smash that like button, send a link to a friend. We're happy you're here. We hope you stick around.
And then we got Tyler. He says, hey, don't take my disc golf off the stepchild ESPN 5. I don't get the joke.
Did he mean, was he supposed to say ESPN the Ocho? Because ESPN's not, I like playing disc golf. I don't know if I've ever watched disc golf more than random highlights, but I would like to think ESPN can do a little better with UFL over disc golf.
If disc golf starts beating the UFL, we're in trouble. It's going to turn into a disc golfing podcast. And Tyler, you're more than welcome to join. we need your hot disc golf takes. So Yeah. Anyway, fun with the chat.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
Chucky did also say he's taking he likes the Dallas money line with the over under at 47.5. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really good. So yeah, back to I guess. Sorry, me and Rob. We're easily distracted. You guys are doing good. Love it. St. Louis Battlehawks, DC Defenders. Now they're going DC Defenders -4.5. Rob, what are you thinking on this one?
I'm going Defenders because they're in DC, and you're looking at the two teams whose home crowd actually is a factor. Because DC Defenders, they don't bring in the numbers of the Battlehawks, but their diehards are loud, they're mighty, they're wasted.
I love them.
Those
I love
beers,
them. Yeah.
they're building that beer snake. Those beers are still like $12-15 a beer. It's not like they're $5 beers. So I hope they're finding their way to their cycling afterwards. That's all I'm going to ask for DC Defenders. But ultimately, these are two very good teams. I absolutely love this rivalry. I will be tuning into this game. Defenders have the better quarterback situation, and it's that close of a call. I'm surprised it's a 4.5 spread. I would have thought this would have been a pick 'em, or maybe give the Defenders a -1 or 2 because they're at home. Give me the Defenders.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. Somewhat. I just think the DC Defenders are a put together team, and obviously I think Vegas is a little nervous about Harrison Frost starting off in his first start of the season. So I think they're freaked out about that, and they're just not sure what to think. Battlehawks they've got problems. This isn't really they might make the playoffs. I'm not denying that. I think they're one of the better teams in the UFL, but DC Defenders, I think, are just 10 times more complete. Te'ama's not even having a great year so far, and he's already 2-1 because their running game is just working all across the board. So I love the DC Defenders on this. I kind of get why they're doing the 4.5 points. I would pick the DC Defenders to win this one, and especially because they lost at the Battle Dome. They've got to respond after something like that just to keep that team motivated, and I don't think they left the field happy there. So they're going to try to take it out on the Battlehawks, and the DC Defenders should get a big win. Also, one concern that I have with the Battlehawks, they aren't the best at stopping the run, and Deion Jackson is having a hell of a year. So Deion Jackson should be able to do some damage against the Battlehawks.
Now, chat, don't think that was crazy analysis right there. All that analysis was doing was hiding the fact that Nick is camping on his 2-game lead. No, yeah, I think you're spot on. I think you're spot on. I think everything you're saying is right. Your analysis is always great. If the Defenders lose, we're going to be very confused when we talk to y'all on Tuesday.
Yeah, and I will, if I increase my lead at any point on this, Rob, I'm okay with making it a rule where the leader has to make the first pick. I'll do that. We could both do that just to show that I'm.
It's all good. I also know that you're picking legitimately, and we're seeing things. We're seeing things similarly this week so far, which leads us to our nightcap game.
I got it.
And
somewhere.
Storm Stallions. Nick, I want you to go first because I'm still thinking.
I'd be shocked.
Chucky, you are right. DC is surging right now. I feel like I expect them to be the number 2 seed going to the playoffs.
Yeah. DC, I think, is going to end up there. And I love your power rankings, Rob, because you moved them up pretty quickly. You said, we're skipping all this and moving them straight up. I don't really care about Orlando being 3-0. So here's the weird thing about this game is the fact that the Birmingham Stallions, who I don't think have been playing that well this season, are now the favorites, I guess, because they're home, and Rob is intimidated by that Stallions home field advantage. I know he talks
about it. It's the worst in the league.
Oh.
The worst in the league.
Not a fan. Okay. All right. So he's not intimidated, and neither are the Orlando Storm. I'm going Orlando Storm. I think they're going to be able to win this. They're just, again, it's about complete teams. I think the defense is a lot better. I love what Anthony Beck's doing with not Jake Plummer. I said it right that time. Jack Plummer in that offense. I think he's doing a really good job developing the run. He knows how to even stop pressure. Anthony Beck is just schematically a very smart coach, and I think he's just going to attack him well. And I don't think the Stallions defense is that structured. And the only reason why they're playing as somewhat well as they are is just because they have a great quarterback, Matt Corral, out there. And I don't think he can keep them up in a game like this.
Yeah.
So give me Storm.
So here's the thing. I think you are spot on. I think you're correct. However, one of the things that was disappointing last year, and it's I think one of the reasons why Repoli is trying to add teams as quickly as he can, is with 2 weeks to go, the playoffs were set. If Orlando wins this one and things play out the way we expect them to, through 4 weeks, the playoffs will, barring injuries, the playoffs are going to be set. Come on. Come on, UFL. I don't want that. I don't need that. Plus,
tinfoil hat?
AJ McCarron. If there's one thing that he loves, it's Alabama. And he knows that to keep this team in Alabama, they need to win. And he gave up running for lieutenant governor because he thought he could do more good for the state of Alabama by being the head coach of the UFL, Birmingham Stallions. And you picked the other team, so give me the Stallions. I think the Storm are going to win. I think the Storm are going to win. I'm picking the Stallions for the good of the league, for the good of our picks contest.
You know, chat, in case you guys are thinking, what is Rob doing? He's not being logical here. He did something similar to this in the NFL, and he ended up beating me in the picks by the end of the year. So sometimes don't let the magic happen. Let Rob cook, okay? And I think that's what's happening over here, and I'm starting to get nervous. I'm not going to lie.
When I'm not picking against the spread, when I'm not picking against the spread, when I'm just picking money line, when I just got to pick winners, I'm going to win more often than I'm going to lose. And for honestly, like literally for the good of the league, I can't believe I'm saying this. Birmingham has to win this week.
Go back to the one you hate. You know, you almost hate them so much you love them, Rob, at this point.
And exactly.
What would you do without
them? The playoff set 4 weeks in, and nothing would be officially locked in. It's just when you look at the records and there'd be such a clear delineation that short of injuries, I mean, the 4 top teams would have to play barely 500 the rest of the way, and they'd be playoff teams. Arguably, they could probably play under 500 and make the playoffs.
You know, and I agree with you, Rob. I'm just going to stick to my logical pick. I'm going to go the Storm are going to win it just because that's what I think is going to happen. But I am kind of agreeing, and I kind of hope you're right about this. I almost want the Stallions to win it just because, again, for the good of the league, let's make it entertaining, a photo finish for playoff seeding and all that stuff. Because last year we had 2 weeks of talking about nothing in the UFL because the playoffs were already set, and I don't want that to happen this year.
We had a hard time coming up with things to talk about. We started talking a lot of things that weren't UFL because of that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, want to talk some things about not UFL?
Yeah, let's do it. There's sports outside the UFL.
What relates to football better than golf, Rob? We might lose our viewers. Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
No, honestly, no.
We like golf.
About it, if you like football, a lot of people also like golf. Saban plays golf every chance he gets, right? Like a lot of football players love golf. A lot of people that love one love the other. And there was actually an interesting conversation on a Twitter thread. On some posting and comments this week, where people are talking about the ratings being down. And I said, hey, you know what? They are going up against the Masters. And someone comments, yeah, well, what casual crossover is there? And believe it or not, I'm not the only one that was like, there's plenty. There's plenty. And like I said earlier, like I didn't watch any of the UF games all the way through full because it was Masters week. I had them. I had the par 3 on in the background while I was working on Wednesday. I had it on the background Thursday, Friday. I had the early coverage on Saturday and Sunday, flipping through featured groups and featured holes, especially once groups started hitting Amen Corner before the guy. Yeah, throw me that Amen Corner. Give me that tough par 4, that unbelievable par 5, and the world's one of the 2 greatest par 3s in the world, number 12 at Augusta. Yeah. Give me 12 at Augusta or 7 at Pebble. One of those 2 is the best par 3s in the world. And they might both be just tied for first. They're pretty freaking amazing.
It's a fun event, and I'm a sports fan and a golf fan. Me and Rob play golf together, and of course we love the Masters. So, it's a little hoity, but that's what kind of makes it fun. I love Jim Nantz and his presentation. It's fun. It's fun, and you can't have it any other way. But it's really exciting. So Scotty Scheffler started off not to, having an okay. He said
his second round was tough. He had a 2 over second round.
Yeah, he had 2 over in the second round. Yeah, he said he was hitting his shots well all throughout the year, all throughout the week, and he felt very confident in it. It just sometimes, and the putts just don't land, and all of a sudden you're +2 for the day. Not the +2 part. I hardly feel that, but
but Scotty is, if someone were to pick the worst aspect of his game, and he is the number 1 golfer in the world for a reason. Even if you were to combine all the live golfers back in, he'd still be the number 1 golfer in the world. Yes, he's having a slightly down year. He just had a second kid. Deal with it. His putting is arguably his worst stat. It is. He doesn't have that killer instinct with the putter like Tiger did back in the day. He doesn't. He can miss some that he shouldn't. And at Augusta's the hardest place to putt in the whole world.
Oh, it's nearly impossible. Yeah, and it's barely his weakest part of his game. But if he had to have a weakness, it is going to be putting. But he came roaring back, made it exciting, and then could not finish off. Rory McIlroy going back-to-back as Masters winner. First time since Tiger, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, he's only 4 ever back-to-back winners. You have Jack, you have Faldo, you have Tiger, and now you have Rory. Those are our 4 ever back-to-back winners at Augusta, because it's a hard place to win. And this is one of those that really highlights why Liv probably made a mistake with the "we're only 3 rounds" thing, because there's a reason why 4 rounds of golf is the standard for medal play, because it took all 4 rounds for Rory to win. He needed that 6-shot lead that he built up by the end of the day on Friday to get him all the way through. It allowed him to not have his A game on Saturday and Sunday. He shot even par over the last 36 holes and won with some doubles, with some bogeys. Meanwhile, Scotty, who got off to that slower start, is the first player in recorded Masters history, as far back as they can look, 1942, the only player to ever go Saturday, Sunday completely bogey-free at Augusta. And he didn't win.
That's insane. He couldn't do it. He was too far behind. Way too far behind.
Yeah. But he's still Rory's drive on 18. If Rory didn't hit an unbelievable second shot out into that bunker, if he caught a tree branch or something, we're looking at a playoff or Scotty winning outright, because Rory shanked his drive.
Yeah, and that's Rory's biggest. People always criticize Rory for not being clutch at the last minute on majors, even though he's got plenty in his bag to prove otherwise. But that would have been really bad for him. It would have been very similar to, what was it, Spieth in 2015, where you just blew it. And
Spieth, Rays Creek got Spieth, and arguably he's never really been the same since. Yeah, he got himself an Open title He's got a couple other wins, but Race
He
Creek
has
really
not.
changed the trajectory of Jordan Spieth's career.
Yeah, and he is by far my favorite golfer, and it's been really sad since then. That British Open was a really good win, but that was a long time ago.
With the highlight, know the rules for that win, where he took it all the way back for his line and dropped it, and it led to the win. Knowing the rules are important.
Spending 40 minutes on that shot, that really made.
They let him.
Dang it. Yeah.
Yeah. They let him
come back. It was cool. It was always a great event and obviously very exciting. So the Masters, at least it wasn't a blowout. Scheffler put the pressure on him, and that's what I was hoping for on Sunday.
It was a fantastic Sunday. At a different point in time, 4 different golfers had the outright, not just tied, had the outright lead. Justin Rose led by 2 on the back 9 at Augusta. It's like he's finally going to do it. Nope. Cameron Young led by 2 a little earlier. Not quite enough experience yet. Nope. But I could see Young finally getting it. For Justin Rose, I think this is his version of Phil in the U.S. Open, which sucks. I mean, Justin Rose he's lost in a playoff twice at Augusta, and he was a runner-up another time. It's like, that hurts. He's got his name is on the trophy. Augusta puts the runner-up on the trophy. He's got his name on the trophy 3 times, but not in the right slot. He still doesn't get to go there automatically every year. He's never gotten to host a dinner. Oh,
it seems to be his course. There's certain people that just play Augusta well, and Justin Rose always comes out and plays well, usually.
It does help if you're a contender. I love Augusta. It's my favorite week of the year. It is far and away the weakest field of all the majors, by far. PGA Championship has a stronger field because they had 97 people play it this year. Several of them I love the AMs qualifying, but I'm sorry, the winner of the Latin American Amateur is not going to be there on Sunday. And they didn't have a low AM this year. None of the AMs made it, which happens sometimes. Not all the AMs don't always make the cut. And then you got all the past champions. Fred Couples gave it a run at 66 to make the cut. Not quite there. I think he comes back and next year is his final one. But you got Vijay Singh. He's not going to win it. Like, you got there's really, when you look at who's in there, maybe you can make an argument for 20 guys to win. In reality, you can make an argument for 10 to 12. Doesn't mean it's not an unbelievable course. It doesn't mean it's not an unbelievable tournament nearly year in, year out. It's so rarely a blowout. It's usually tight on the back 9. And it was fantastic golf to watch. The CBS production, though, man, oh my goodness. Nance needs to take his ball and he needs to go home.
You're hating. Okay. I don't hate Nance.
But the whole CBS production.
He is who he is. He just is who he is.
His genuflecting to the god that is Augusta is gotten a little heavy-handed over the last few years. Now, yes, it's Augusta. They make you call them patrons. Mark Calcavecchia, a major championship winner, got kicked off the course. He didn't even look. Right. He shifted his phone in his pocket and took it out because he was trying to get something else. They kicked him out. Like this, you run, get out. This is what Augusta is. But it's a little heavy-handed. He's trying so hard, and it's like, dude, enough. But then the coverage itself, that Rory shot on 18, CBS didn't know. They had no idea that Rory's ball was in the bunker. And they were talking about, like, well, you got to make sure he doesn't hit the wrong ball. And they said that because they didn't know whose ball it was. You got all those cameras, all those people there. You don't know whose ball's in the bunker?
Well, here's the weird thing about the Masters is it's not the CBS camera crew. It's it's Augusta's camera crew. They've got their own
CBS
TV
people
thing.
Are there. They've got spotters everywhere. They got fans everywhere. No,
they do have spotters.
No, that's CBS. I'm sorry. And Dottie, it's time. It's time. Trevor Immelman, man, you are no Nick Faldo. Stop like I need Faldo would say it like it was.
Yeah.
We need more of
And
that.
I Jim Nance is who he is. I think you got to keep him. Obviously, I'm not saying get rid of Jim Nance from Augusta. I'm okay with the hoidiness because I just expect it. But when you pair him with a Nick Faldo or something like that, it's a little, it's like Romo and him, you know, it just sometimes it balances out. Just he treats it like it's the Sistine he treats it like it's a Sistine Chapel. Like it is, there is nothing on earth that matches.
And Immelman does the same thing is the problem. You can't have two of them doing the same thing. You got to have a little bit. Augusta deserves all of it, and they've earned their rights to do it. They make like $70 million just on merch.
It's and I know Tyler. He's a big tennis fan. He just said I'm allergic to hoity. He hates Wimbledon too for the same reason. It's the same as that kind of stuff.
Gotta wear white.
But my biggest counter to that is I almost like the hoidiness because it's rules that can be broken, and it's kind of entertaining to watch people like pressure the rules.
I'm not saying I don't like it. I never.
I'm a fan,
yeah.
And I'm a Wimbledon fan.
And it's one tournament a year, and that if it's going to be anyone that earns it, it's the Jim Nance. Like every word is a love letter to Augusta. Oh, dude, shove it.
I'll tell you this. I think he's being sincere. I think he really does worship it, almost like a idol or something. I don't know, like a mecca.
and Tyler's saying he prefers the hard courts. He just, when it comes to tennis, he just likes to slam the ball. He doesn't like the strategy that comes with the clay or the grass.
I'm with him on the clay. I hate the clay, but you know.
Oh, I love the clay. The strategy, the clay and the grass. There's more strategy. There's more hardcore. It's bomb and gouge power game.
Damn it, Rob! You're an American. That's what it's all about. We hit the ball as hard as possible. Okay. Now, strategy is to hit it as fast as possible without getting it out.
You can learn to do multiple things,
but it's boring.
Clay and Wimbledon are boring. Oh, just disagree.
No.
They're longer watches. They can be longer watches.
No, Tyler makes the argument that I've had so many conversations. Wimbledon, it actually serves better if you hit it harder because the bounce is so. I don't know. Anyway, we didn't expect.
We're not tennis experts, Tyler. When we're ready for our disc golf and tennis episode, you got to be in.
I'll tell you what, if you're in next week, I will have a quick hit on whatever's going on in disc golf. Give me 1 minute, Rob.
Oh, sure. You can have it. You can have it.
Just go.
So the Masters was fantastic, as it always is. My favorite thing outside of Rory winning, I thought it was great that he won. I would prefer Rose to win. Obviously, if an American is going to win, I would prefer that. But Max Homa, who has been he lost his game a little bit, especially last year. He had a great final round. He finished. One of the nice things about Augusta, you finish in the top 12 in ties, you get an auto invite to next year. He got himself into a tie for 7th, and that got him. He's got a ticket back to Augusta next year, which is awesome. I think he's going to win at least one. I think he's going to win one at some point this summer, and I'm excited. And he's someone, if he gets his game right, his game fits Augusta very well.
He seems to be involved in a lot of tournaments. Like he seems to be up there. Homa, I keep seeing his name everywhere every time.
Not last year, you did
the golf.
Not last year.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying he seems like he has. Yeah, golf is. Look at Jordan Spieth. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's another great Masters tournament. Maybe we could do a watch along one year, Rob, or something like that. That'd be kind of exciting if anyone wants to tap into it. But
I mean, I'd be down to do it for the U.S. Open for sure. Or if somehow Spieth's in contention on Sunday at the PGA, which is the next one up, that's what he needs to create. That's what he needs to complete the career Grand Slam. If he's in contention for it, I'd be down for that.
I would lose my mind. If he ended up winning that. I'm such a huge Spieth fan. even though he seems to be struggling. And my suggestion to Spieth, okay, if you want to fix your game, stop thinking about the shot so much and maybe have a beer. Just one beer. That's it. Just relax. Just chill. Just a little. Because I think he gets into his own head and causes his own problems. So hopefully he's getting better. And he's shooting better.
Mic'd up. I love when
it's
he's mic'd up.
entertaining. Yeah. Especially with, and I never want the caddy to go, Michael
Greller.
It's very entertaining to watch those two go back at it. They're fun. They're fun. And I like the fact that it's a roller coaster ride to cheer for Spieth. It's not a guarantee.
Sure.
You're going to get a bad shot, and that's what makes it entertaining. But
for those of you that are saying, hey, wait, this is when you all usually talk Dallas and Boston sports. The Masters was the biggest story this week. Celtics are locked in the number 2 seed. They'll play the winner of the Magic Hawks game. I believe it was the Magic and the Hawks. And then we've got in the first round. 76ers Magic. The Hawks are playing tonight to try to get into the 8 seed game. So 76ers or Magic will play the Celtics. Either way, it's going to be a fun series. And then in the NHL, the Bruins backed into it. They finally got around. They clinched their playoff spot. Their first-round opponent not locked in yet. Most likely the Buffalo Sabres. I like their chances in any first-round matchup. I don't know what's going to happen in the second round. But we'll talk more about NBA and NHL playoffs next week. Over in the NHL, we mentioned it last week, the Dallas Stars are locked into their first-round matchup with the Wild. That's going to be a tough one. The Wild play them tough. The Mavs still have Cooper Flag. They got that going for them.
Hey, they haven't done anything to award my attention, and I'm going to continue doing so, not paying attention. But next year should be exciting. They should get a high draft pick, and I might get over everything. Because Cooper Flag is still good, and I still love my basketball. I miss it, so I want him back. But man,
yeah.
But yes, Stars looking good. I'm excited about that, and we'll see how they do against the Wild. And we will talk about NHL, NBA playoffs too. We'll probably have our own separate show on that, Rob. We could probably do that. I know we're producing on the fly.
We might, if we can figure out a time to chat about it. We might pop up with one separately next week, or later this week. We'll see. Maybe we got to iron out some details.
Yeah, we'll iron them out. But before the playoffs happen, we'll have something on it, and we're going to be following it too. He's a big Boston Bruins fan. He even says this is the one that you want the most, Rob, is the Stanley Cup for the Bruins. So, the excitement.
And I don't think they're a cup contender this year, but the East is so tightly bunched. It wouldn't surprise me if they lose in the first round. It wouldn't surprise me if they win the whole East. But the West, man, the West has some monsters.
It's tough, and that's where the Stars are, but they're part of the monsters, so that's the good.
They're one of the monsters for sure. Three-headed monster.
So yeah,
Colorado, Edmonton, and them.
Yeah. Edmonton without the goalie, though. I'm counting on you predicting that, Rob, because you're saying Stars should beat them. I'm gonna go with you. I feel you're making me feel better about the Stars heading into the playoffs. So, Rob, we got 16 people following us. Thank you guys for joining along. Tyler, love the chat. Yes. Love what you're doing out there too, Chucky. Love your analysis on betting too. Any insights that you have on that. So thank you guys for joining the show. Another shout out to Horror Games. He joins the show. Good friend of mine. We go back and forth on each other's channels. So glad he got to join in as well. But not just them, Rob. I mean, what if they want to find us somewhere else? though, not just YouTube.
For sure. And please do, if you've been watching us, whether you're watching us on X, whether you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the, if you made it this far, or if you tuned in for at least 3 minutes and you're listening to me right now, just hit that like button. It helps us with the algorithms. It really, truly does. Just hit it. It's on YouTube. You're on your phone. Hit X out of the chat. Hit the like button. Otherwise, you'll just see it if you're on a computer. But otherwise, you can find us, at just search Nick and Rob Homer Hour. That is the basis of our name across all the platforms we're on. Depending on which platform, there might be some underscores and stuff. So we are on Instagram. We are on Blue Sky. We are on YouTube and X. We are also on TikTok. We release a lot of our shorts on there. So please, if you're on any or all of those platforms, give us a like, give us a follow. We are on weekly Tuesday nights. We come on between 6:30 and 7 p.m. Central. We'll give you a heads up. We'll usually post a little bit earlier in the day. I did this afternoon to let you know what time we go live. And we have our talk about UFL and the other sports that matter.
Yeah. Yeah. And we got a big week 4 up ahead, and we'll see how that goes in the UFL. But until then, Rob, we'll see everyone next time.
See ya.